Alright, let's not work on this blog right now. Let's come over here and chop it. Alright, so as you can see right here, this is one of the setups that I sent out into my personal mentee chat. For those that don't know, I do have a personal mentorship program for my Sniper Squad members. That's what they're called because obviously it's in the name. I call it Sniper Trades, so I decided to make the chat specifically a Sniper Squad chat. That's what I called it. My mentorship program, for those that are interested, it is opening back up. And I wasn't pushing October, but actually I think I'm gonna open it back up in September as I get into like the last month. But I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. So as you can see, this is one of the main setups I sent out to my, I don't know, pressing the space bar. This is one of the main setups I sent out to my chat. So at the time, I think the market was like, actually, am I not logged into this account? I'm probably in the wrong account, I don't care. All right, so at the time, the market was like all the way down here, of course. I said I wanted to see like a break, a retest back to this candlestick price, and then expect for the continuation. So this was already like my mindset of what I told them to look out for, like a buy push, a pullback to the zone, and then the continuation. And then these orange lines were all the different TP targets that I had in mind for them to pay attention to. I'm like, all right, if it hits here, the next level will be here to this lower high. If it hits here, the next level will be here and here. And sure enough, as you can see, it took off amazing for those buys. This was that pullback I was talking about. And then the rest is history for that continuation. Fire play, fire play. So that was a fire setup. That was actually one of the setups. Of course, I gave them US 30 and Germany 40 as well. Even gold, actually, now that I think about it. But that's cool. But today, I know why y'all here. I didn't give y'all one last week because, like I said, I didn't trade last week for y'all personally. So I didn't call out a trade for y'all. But this week, like I said, I know why y'all here. I'm going to give y'all setups today on both NAS 100 and US 30. If you trade futures, that is the NQ and YM for the Dow Jones. And yeah, before we actually wait, one more thing before we actually get into it. So last announcement, for my birthday, I did a surprise drop, and it's actually gonna be like my new price in general. So for my birthday, I did a surprise drop from my Academy mentorship program, not mentorship, my Academy program, which was instead of paying like the one-time $500 fee. I know there was a lot of people that's like, oh, it's a little bit pricey. Like I heard, I can't wait. I'm excited to join. I'm saving Abe. I want to do da 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 da. Don't have to worry about it no more. Instead, there is going to be a monthly fee of $175. So now this is more affordable for you guys to join whenever you guys want. There's no strings attached. If you decide you want to cancel your membership and run like a month-to-month basis thing, you can do that. Of course, like if you cancel your membership, at the end of the month, you'll lose access to all your video access and all the materials and all the trainings and all the frequent updates that I'm doing every week that I'm bringing into the academy. Like I told y'all in the past, like in the beginning of the year, I told y'all I'm really getting back to like just being hands-on with people that's really serious about learning how to trade, and I love teaching. So like since I love teaching, I love going over my strategies, going over different scenarios, back testing all these different things. That's why I'm making it a little bit more affordable. Yes, it's a monthly fee now, but I feel like that's more manageable than somebody trying to like pay $500 or $1,000 all at once. Now this is just for the academy. So the academy, I'm still bringing out material every week, trade ideas like this, but also I think I'm gonna do like personal live Q&A days for y'all, for my academy members. So if you're a current academy member, just pay attention to your homepage. There's gonna be updates and calendar announcements all on the homepage. But my new people, same thing. Like you have more access, it'd be more easy for you to join. It's a monthly fee. All current members, y'all don't gotta worry about it. Y'all already grandfathered into the price. But all new members, you will have to pay a $175 monthly fee to join the academy now, which is cool. That's like, what's a good comparison? That's like somebody buying a new set of headphones every month, or buying a new pair of shoes every month, or buying a new pair of belt or whatever y'all spend y'all $100 on. I spend $100 on food easily in a week, so that's a grocery bill or whatever. But I forgot what I was about to say. I'm excited for that, and then the in-person training. So like when people are like, oh hey, like is it always going to be 175? Yes, the academy itself is always going to be 175. When I do in-person trainings, those are going to be like $1,500, $2,000. Personal mentorship, we can talk about that when that announcement drops. But I'm actually going to do something for y'all for that too. Um, just stay tuned. That's going to actually release later on in the vlog at the end of the August. I'm going to say that video for them. But all right, I'm over here hot. because I just banged a freaking brisket fry meal, brisket fries and macaroni and cheese. Like that was just perfect. But that's why I'm over here sounding all like slow and tired and stuff. But don't worry, I'm gonna get y'all right. Let's get into this video. All right, let's get into it. I don't want to start off with Nas. Honestly, I can because we already here. Why not? So for starters, actually, before we even get into this, from a technical standpoint, clear as day, we had beautiful market structure last week on the chart. So I'm looking at it on the 4 to see how clean it looked. Yes, the market was a little bit slower, but that was as expected because there wasn't a lot of news last week. The news was only on Tuesday and Thursday, and the rest of the week it was literally no news. So I'm not surprised last week how the market was just moving like slow during New York, but ultimately still sticking with that uptrend push back to retest these highs. Now that we're back at these highs, this is going to be another week of opportunity, or we may see Nas either go for new highs and start creating new higher highs and higher lows. Excuse me. God bless me. Right? Or it's going to be a week of this playing as a resistance. Right? We already have the data to the left. This is a previous resistance structure that hit, and the market sold off. Now we got our 4 retests. Now we need to see if this is going to be a week of maybe a push out tonight during London, and then all New York tomorrow. We could see sell-offs, right? So this is gonna be like scenario number 1, 4 retests back to this level, this structure down here, or like I said, is it gonna be a week of new highs where it breaks out this zone, creates a higher low for the pullback, and then continues to take off, right? So that's kind of like my first initial thought process as I come on here and as I look at the charts. But for sure, if I was looking for buys, I would either wait for this break, retest, and then enter, or I will be looking to see a retest back to this structure to confirm. Because if it comes back to this price at 23,319, this was the last main higher low on this 4-hour time frame. So the higher the time frame, the more accurate you can trust the analysis, right? So like this will be my main sweet spot. And then now that I'm on the 1 hour, let me see. This would be like another area in question as well. But some way tomorrow, I would love to see sell-offs back to these structures, either here or here. The moment it bounces off of this structure and give us another higher low, or confirming that this is like a double bottom right here, and then confirming a higher low for this price, that's gonna let us know, like, okay, cool. I can still look for buys off of Nas 100 instead of favoring like the sales going into the week. Now, this is just straight bias from technicals. But when we bring in news, we look at the news, we take this into consideration, of course, right? So we got Monday, no news. So Monday should be a day of continuation. It should be a day of either moving slow or taking off again for the buys, breaking out of the zone and moving, like I said, moving slow. Tuesday, we have our core CPIs for the monthly and the year. This news right here, this bad boy right here, this is the news that make NQ move. This is the news that make it take off for 200 points or 2,000 pips, right? If I go back to July 15th, I can show you real quick. I haven't had an ad over here in a long time. All right, so if I go back to July 15th, you can see this candlestick right here, and I'm on a 4-hour time frame. That big old red candlestick that you just saw was the candlestick from that news, right? So where we at? Gave us confirmation of the sellouts here, bearish engulfing. Boom. Took off immediately for the sales. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and bring my price range so we can see where did this candlestick start from. So this is already 1,000 pips, and then it finally pushed. Told y'all, 200 pip move, 2,000 pip move. Granted, obviously, if you trade with future, like a funded account, then you can't swing trade. But my people that trade personal account with me, we can swing and hold this trade for like the full sell-off. Now, with that being said, for my new beginners that's watching me for the first time or advanced, wherever you are, the most like best advice I can give you is don't trade news. Wait for the market. If you don't have a clear understanding of technicals and have your clear bias or winning bias that you know, like every morning when you wake up, you can obviously see which direction the market is going. Just wait until opening bell. So 8:30, let the market react, let it make his news, make his move, and then the real move, is gonna happen around like 9:30, 9:45 ish. I already told y'all like my main times that I look for. for entries in the main strategy video, but 9:30, 9:45, 9:45 for real. That's gonna be a sweet spot entries that you can look for on NQ and YM actually. So yeah, so this is Tuesday news. No news on Wednesday. So whatever happened on Tuesday, there should be either a recovery day for Wednesday or kind of like a in recovery, aka means like it's either gonna be a pullback day on Wednesday where it's just pulling back before it continues for the trend, or it's gonna be a day of just a continuation. So if it's already taken off for the buys, it should probably move slow and then continue to take off for the buys again. Thursday, we have more PPI news, unemployment claims. Same thing. If you don't want to trade at 8:30, just wait till opening bell. You're good. You're not going to miss nothing just because news drop. I promise. The market really don't even start reacting to for until like 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is when the market really get the moving smoothly and less of a headache. You don't got to guess or stress about what the market is going to do if you wait for the storm to clear first. And then Friday, another Friday, core retail sales and the prelim. Like it should be like overall, it should be a pretty good volatile day, week on the charts. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't be mad at the sales here. Back to these structures. If it end up selling up like crazy, great. We get to hold our positions. But ultimately, like I said, it really just comes down to like how it reacts. So if Nas closes under this zone, like let's say it pushes up here today and then it closes back under this zone, I would be willing to look for sales around 23,580. Stop loss will be above the red zone, of course. And then my TP targets will be here, here, or here, depending on like how volatile the market move. And then vice versa, if it takes off for the buys, like I said earlier, we wait for the break or retest, and then we enter. Right. And then US 30 over here. It's so funny since I touched on my strategy, technically I don't even got a gatekeep. I can really draw my like fibs and everything on here now and really not half explain videos no more. Like I be explaining it because I don't need the fibs to show y'all, but it kind of like helps confirms like what I want to see on the charts. But really, over here on US 30, I feel like because US 30 is here, it's kind of like helps with the Nas theory, right? So it's like it's kind of weird because Nas is already at a resistance level, US 30 is not, right? So for us on US 30, for my people to trade the Dow Jones, aka YM, for us over here, we're looking for a push up into this resistance stretches here. So I'm only bringing my orange line here because as you can see, this was the main resistance that started the sales here. I'm gonna like look at this as like a fade breakout before the continuation of the sales. So technically, I could put it up here, but this is what separates good traders from great ones. Sometimes in the past, where I used to set sell limits here or wait for a market to push up here, I used to be mad because like it would literally hit this and then just drop. And then I look back and realize like all this doesn't matter. This is invalid because this was like a fake out. This was a manipulation tactic to get people to think that the market was buying, and then it just dumps back inside the zone again, which confirmed like this was the main resistance in question. So that's the reason why this technically still is an area. Some people might even since it's in between two resistance, some people might even draw a zone. But for me, I'm just leave it like this, and y'all can like mark up your charts how y'all want to mark it up. But this is what you can look for, right? So push up here. This is how I used to call it my center shot too. Push up here, back above the zone. The moment it closes back outside of the zone, we take sales, right? Because that's confirming that it's going for the sales again. We should look for sales like somewhere in this area. Not saying this is the entry, but somewhere in this area, we want to look for sales. And then as you can see, this kind of took all the way down here, right? So I'm going to be looking for that same push to that structure, right? It's going to be like somewhere in here. So for me this week, kind of like on Nas, and it's funny, this is the key support, not this, because same thing vice versa, right? This was the main support. It fake pushed out, acting like it was going for the sales, and then immediately came back inside, boom, 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 and took off for the buys. Literally the exact opposite of this, but perfect example for both sides, right? So for me, if I want to look for sales, I'm waiting for the push up here, and then once it closes back under, I'm taking my sales around 44,322, and I'm gonna look to take profit down here, or AKA, it should be around 1,200 pips. Oh, so 1,200 pips is already here, so I will already be out of the trade, but the full move will be down here. And then vice versa, if I'm looking for my buys, I want to be patient and let it retest this higher low first to confirm and show me. And then once it retests, the safer, more legitimate entry will be once it closes back above the zone, right? Yes, we have our strategies that, like I said, I taught you everything now. Well, I didn't teach you everything, but I taught y'all my two breadwinners at this moment in the markets, right? I touched on my two breadwinners that basically you can catch earlier sniper entries whenever, but the more legitimate entry will be once it bounces off of this support structure, creates a higher low, and closes back above the zone. That's going to confirm the buys. And then once again, I would look to take my buys back up to the highs, right? Or to 100 pips if I'm just being disciplined for just catching 120 and being in and out of the trade, right? So that's going to be my main two trades I'm going to give you up for US 30 for this week. And then on Nas as well. I think I'm gonna do like I don't even know. I'm gonna figure out something. I want to do something for YouTube. I just gotta figure out how I want to do it with everything I got going on right now. But once I figure that out, y'all will know. Academy members is watching this video. I will be releasing my new gold strategy tonight. How I've been trading gold, how I've been peeping how gold has been moving. Something that's gonna stop you guys from just I don't even want to say getting without, but like gold likes to fake people out and likes to pull back a lot and likes to retest a lot. So I got something for that, and it's not the fibs or anything like that, but I got something for that that's going to help y'all tackle gold 10 times better than what y'all already doing. So I'm gonna leave out with that. Shout out to everybody that's watched my video. If you haven't already, please leave a like. Make sure to subscribe if you are new here, and if not, I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.